Hey there, my fellow jewelry enthusiasts. Welcome to my channel, Memory Lane by Marie, and I'm Marie. Happy holidays, everybody. If this is your first time joining me, welcome to my channel. Today on the agenda is the finished jewelry update for our favorite bead box subscription, Bargain Bead Box. For the month of December, the theme was Merry and Bright, and there were certainly some bright colors in there, some surprises, some bead choices or bead color choices that were probably not expected, and the color combinations were quite unconventional for what we normally see this time of year. But as always, Bargain Bead Box presents us with the challenge and we meet it. So without further delay, let's get into it. First, I want to say from the Bargain Bead Box this month, these are the only things that I have left. These Christmas tree trinket beads, a couple of snowflake charms, and the bars from a couple of the toggle clasp. I used the circle part in other ways. And so this is all I had left from this month's Bargain Bead Box. So first up, I'm going to kind of work backwards. This was the final piece that I made. After I finished all of my pieces, I was left with some, a few pieces of this, or a few of these turquoise beads that we received that month. And so of course, I just paired them with other beads and things from my stash. And so here we have one of my favorite things to make. This is a 5-round memory wire bracelet. This has been, I have used some of my dollar bead box items on this bracelet. Of course, here we know these are our turquoise, get that out, turquoise beads from this month. And these are, of course, some black lava beads. I love to keep those in my stash. They are very versatile. You can pull them out at any time. A few of these things I got from my latest dollar bead box purchases. For example, this tubing here, I bought this from Dollar Bead Box. And I believe these bicones here, these crystal bicones. And so just pairing these turquoise beads, or bringing together and pulling together these turquoise beads with some items from my stash, because there were only a few beads left and I wanted to use as many of the beads as possible. So again, here we have black and turquoise with a few clear crystal rounds faceted beads in for a little sparkle. Of course, some of your basic silver silver ball spacer beads, and I think that turned out really nicely. Again, these were the last of the beads, and so this is a lone piece by itself. Again, when you pull in metal finishes, you can always just find or wear those metal finish pieces in other ways to pull in the colors when you have single pieces such as this. So of course, your standard silver hoop or silver ball earring with the beautiful sterling silver necklace or silver plated necklace will certainly look nice with this bracelet. So I think that's gorgeous. Very casual, very earthy, beautiful. Next up, we have this 3-strand bracelet using those 8mm man-made turquoise rounds again. I've thrown in some of those holly berry red beads. Remember these beautiful little top drilled holly berry red beads, and so I've paired them up with these turquoise beads and those, they called them, I believe they called them bicones, these fancy bicone spacer beads here. I believe they call them fancy bicones. And of course, in our, I believe this is an antique bronze finish. And so I just created 3 strands with varying patterns, added them to our toggle clasp here that they sent us in the bead box this month. And so I think this turned out really nicely. This is about a 7.5-inch bracelet. And I think that's gorgeous. I love, here you are, I love the color combination. It is not what you would expect for Christmas, but I still see what could be used as a Christmas theme as far as what the holly red beads do to it. But it could be worn at any time. So I didn't try to fight with the theme as far as how unconventional the choices were. I just went with it, and I think this turned out very nice. So again, this is about 7.5 inches, a 3-strand bracelet using the turquoise beads, the fancy bicones, and the holly red berry beads. Here we have another pair of earrings using those holly berry red beads. It is not exactly a companion piece to this bracelet because the turquoises are different. This is the Sinkang turquoise. It has more of a green tone, and this was the man-made turquoise. Of course, it has more of a blue tone. And they don't really match as far as a matching pair. However, they do also use the holly berry red. And so I just made a 3-dangle earring using some of that chain we received, some of those Sinkang turquoise beads on one drop, and of course the holly berry red beads with the little snowflake dangle on the end. I think these turned out really well. I wish I would have made a companion piece for these earrings. I really like how they turned out. I like the metal finish with this combination of beads, and they look very southwestern. Again, when we all first did the unboxing for Bargain Bead Box, many of us were curious about the choices, but again, as I stated, I just chose not to fight with them and just tried to make the most creative and beautiful pieces I could using those colors and not worry about the Christmas theme so much. Of course, items like snowflakes bring it up, but not necessarily Christmas, maybe just winter or cooler climates. And they could look like a star, so stars could be charms at any time of the year. So again, just another pair of individual earrings. The first bracelet, the memory wire with the turquoise and the black and the silver, was one individual piece. This 3-strand bracelet here with the red holly berries and the man-made turquoise, another individual piece. And these cute little earrings here using the antique bronze and the Sinkang turquoise with the holly red are another individual piece. And so I think all of those turned out nicely. Again, not coordinating sets, but equally beautiful pieces. Moving right along, here's what I did with that gorgeous chandelier, piece that they sent us. It is rather large. We all understood that when we unboxed it. It is that poinsettia focal ornament chandelier, 61 by 58 millimeter round. And so many people thought it was really large. I wasn't concerned about how large it was because a piece like this, it doesn't need a lot of help. But when I saw those flat portions on there, I knew I wanted to add some type of crystal or something. And so here I added like just some little pearl-like flat back gems. And here we have that little flower in the middle of the poinsettia. And I just pulled in those colors of Christmas or any other time of year. Again, I've said many times that red is my favorite color, so I wear a lot of red and black and white. It's my favorite color combination, so I think this would go well with at any time of year where you want to wear red. Here are the companion earrings to this piece. Again, I took the same idea and concept, and I added a flat back gem here to the center of these components here. These were the links. These were, what did they call them? In antique brass, these were the filigree pendants, I believe. Yeah, these were the filigree, were they the filigree pendants? Let's make sure. Because we received how many of them? They're not the bead caps. They're not the charms. They are the links, round snowflake links. So 6 pieces, 22.5 by 16 millimeter round snowflake links. And so again, I took the same theme. I added the flat back gem to them, and these are companion earrings to this piece. I love it. I do not think it is too large. Of course, if you wanted to make an ornament out of it, you could, but you don't need much with this. You don't need much. And so I just like the addition of color to those raised flat portions. And I added, I used those red holly berries. I pulled in some fire polished gems from my dollar bead box. And also some pearls, some matte pearls from the dollar bead box, dollar bead bag probably rather. And so I think these turned out nicely. I think they were, this large ornament, this large chandelier was a concern for a lot of people, but I think that turned out nicely, guys. I think it looks really nice together. Again, this is the chandelier finding. These are the snowflake links, and these are those holly berry red beads that we received in this month's subscription. Moving right along, guys, here you see where I have used those gorgeous Sinkang turquoise teardrop beads. These are the only items from the Bargain Bead Box on this necklace. The rest of these components came from my stash. Here are some shell beads. I believe these did come from Bead Box Bargains, these little flowers here. But these are just other beads from my stash. I like the idea of brown with these beads. There are all sorts of brown tones and shades in them, and so I think brown works very well with these turquoise beads because of the veining that's often in them. And so this is just a 16-inch choker style necklace using those Sinkang turquoise teardrop beads here as focals down at the bottom, and I've just added some various other shades of brown beads to pull it all together. Here are the companion earrings that go with this necklace. Here I've combined both of the Sinkang beads. Here are the faceted rondelles, and here are those other two teardrop beads rather, that I've made into earrings. I've used them here with those snowflake links again, and here I made them double-sided. So I put them back to back so that they are double-sided. They have a nice length to them to go with this choker, and so I think these came out really nicely as well. I really like this set. It doesn't look Christmassy, but it is gorgeous. And as I continue to say, I just chose not to fight with the Christmas theme. I don't wear a lot of themed jewelry and trinket style jewelry anyway. You're not going to see me in too many snowman earrings and Christmas tree earrings and ugly sweaters. And so I'm not disappointed at all with the choice of beads this month. But I think this turned out really well. Again, many of the components from this particular necklace did not come from the Bargain Bead Box, but as always, we always bring in items from our stash to help us create, and I think this one turned out really nicely. I just finished off this necklace with some, I believe these are 11.0 beads, and I used a toggle clasp here that I had in my stash to finish it off because it's pretty heavy. It's not really heavy, but it's heavy enough to facilitate the use of a toggle clasp so that it's not so light that it'll come loose. And so I think this turned out nicely as well. Again, as I like to say, a beautifully coordinated set, earring and necklace. Next up, guys, is this lariat style necklace here. I have used these agate pebble beads here in tumbled agate evergreen beads, and let's try that again, tumbled agate pebble beads in evergreen. And so these are here. I've combined them with those Chinese crystal faceted beads here in matte lime shimmer. And again, I've put them with our holly berry red beads. And so I think this is a gorgeous combination, this red and green. Typically when we think about red and green, we always think about Christmas, but I don't necessarily think about Christmas when I see this. It does look kind of fall. It reminds me of the different shades of apples. So it does look kind of fall, although it can be worn at any time of year. This is about 36 inches long. It is a lariat. It is, I put some chain at the end and I just created some various dangles. Here I use the round portion of our toggle clasps. And then here are those stars that we received in our bag, in our box this month. And here are those matte lime shimmer beads again. And so I just created some really cute dangles for the ends. We know how lariats work. They go around and you kind of tie it. This is not one that wraps around several times, but it goes like that. And then of course these hang down. And I think that turned out nicely. I like the color combination here. Let's see, give it a little bit more space. So I like the color combination here. Again, I said it's about 36 inches, so it goes around nicely and it hangs down nicely mid-chest, just at your chest, depending on, you know, your bust size, of course, where it will lay. But it is a nice length, about 36 inches, and you just tie it here. You just cross it here. And so I think that turned out nicely. As far as companion earrings go, I created these. They're very simple. I brought in the star again here. And so that is where they coordinate as far as the star. Again, just simple drop earrings. These are those matte lime shimmer earrings with the little star drop at the end. And it kind of just goes together nicely. These can be worn without the necklace because they're just simple. But I think they look very nice. I like the shine and the shimmer on the stars. And they go very well with this necklace. Again, a lariat style. I love a lariat style necklace. I like when they're, you know, interesting dangles at the end. That's a place where you can bring in all types of other colors if you so choose, that may or may not appear in the beaded portion of the necklace. And so I think that turned out very nicely. So that's one more piece that I created from our Bargain Bead Box this month with the theme of Merry and Bright. And last but not least, you guys, here are those coral beads. We were all so interested in the choice of these coral beads from Budget, can I get it right? From Bargain Bead Box this month. Of course, these are those frosted glass round beads in electric coral. And I chose to pair them with the faceted Sinkyung turquoise beads. I added in some crystal and some fire polished matte. I believe these are bronze from the dollar bead box. And so I think, again, I must have been in a lariat state of mind, so I created another lariat. I used these were the wreath pendants, filigree wreath pendants. And so I used the filigree wreath pendant here, I used the other one as part of the dangle and the other lariat, but I used it here as the circle for the lariat, for this part of the lariat necklace to go through. And so here I just created some dangles at the end using some of that chain we received. Again, those rondelle, Sinkyung rondelles in turquoise. These little cute beads here, they came from Dollar Bead Box. So I believe we got 2 of them in our subscription sometime this year. And so I just added them to the end to tie the 2 dangles together. But I think this turned out really pretty. It is my favorite piece from these creations this time around. And it is a surprise because I didn't know what I would do with it. I remember mentioning when I did the unboxing that it kind of reminds me of the vacation getaway during the winter months. During Christmas, a lot of people go on vacation to warmer climates if you live in a colder climate, as I do here. But I think this turned out really pretty. It is a double strand lariat, and you just feed the strands through the filigree wreath here, and so here you have it. There are 2 strands. All right, you see there are 2 strands. Each have their own dangle. You wrap it around and you feed it through, and I think that turned out beautifully, surprisingly beautiful. These colors look great together. And so as a companion pair of earrings, I've used here the electric coral beads here at the top, a little cluster of those Sinkyung beads, and just some little briolette crystals down here at the bottom for a little sparkly dangle. Of course, there's sparkle here as well with those bicones. And I think this turned out nicely as well. Again, I think it's my favorite piece because it surprised me. I won't say it challenged me because I had decided that I was not going to look at this as Christmas themed because I really don't wear Christmas themed items. And so I didn't look at it that way when I started to create. I just wanted to look at which colors would look well together and what beautiful pieces I could potentially come up with. And so here you have it, guys. This is my final piece from December's Bargain Bead Box. What do you think? Hopefully you receive some inspiration and maybe some ideas. If you did, let me know. If you decide to make something I've made, let me know. I do appreciate you coming to visit with me for these few minutes. I know you can spend your time elsewhere and you choose to spend it with me, so I do appreciate it. So yeah, please enjoy this time with your families. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, whatever is your belief. And I hope you come back and see me again. Thank you for sticking around with me today. Welcome to my new subscribers. I do appreciate you. Welcome to those who continue to come back and share and communicate with me in the comments. I do appreciate it very much. And as always, thank you, and thank you again. You guys